Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, where our goal every single day is to bring you the information that the media refuses to. We have an ongoing series on this channel. Remember that time where Jimmy Fallon had Donald Trump on his show? And of course, this was during peak anti-Trump hysteria. I mean, according to leftists, Donald Trump was going to get us into World War III. That's the deranged fantasy land that leftists were living in at the time, although they're kind of still living in that land. But anyways, it was peak back then. But during that time, Trump shows up on Jimmy Fallon's show, and for the most part, it was amicable, it was fun. There was this moment.
Can I mess your hair up?
The answer is yes.
It was a simple human interaction. Donald Trump was being relatively self-deprecating, and the left was furious. Why exactly were they furious? Well, they were mad because, quote, Jimmy Fallon was humanizing Trump, you know, the horror. We were able to see Donald Trump as a human rather than a media-manufactured boogeyman, and that apparently was a horrible thing. Well, ever since that clip, I've got it into my mind that the most powerful tool that Donald Trump has really is the ability to connect with people on a human level, for Donald Trump to be humanized in the eyes of the public. You know, that is what the left fears the most. We saw it during the Jimmy Fallon moment, just the way they were so outraged at the idea that people would be giving Donald Trump a fair shake. And so in a way, I've made it my duty to do exactly that. Show you exactly what the media doesn't want you to see, the moments where Donald Trump connects with the people, because the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is a man of the people. He's charismatic and full of life, and the leftist DNC media doesn't want you to know that. So let's do what the media hates and show you Donald Trump in action, in the wild, in his natural state. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so supposedly Donald Trump is an evil, terrible racist, and the people hate him. They tell you that black people are fearful of him. You know, if you tune into The View, Donald Trump is such an evil, horrible racist, so much so that he wants to, quote, bring slavery back.
It's a big win for Democrats, I believe, in the election. But
well, here's something you have to keep in mind. Take a look at the things that they're rolling back. Remember, I said ages ago, you know, in their minds they want to bring slavery back. They're okay with it.
You know, that's what they tell you, but the reality is very different. Here's Donald Trump in deep blue Atlanta, connecting with the people at a local Chick-fil-A.
Good-looking people, wow. That was worth it. And I love doing what you have. That's beautiful, wow. That's art, right? I've been doing everything okay. So can I have 30 milkshakes? And also some chicken. And we're going to take care of the customers. Is business good? You're making a lot of money? Everyone can get rich, right? Excellent. Thank you very much. Look at the way you hold. You like each other, right? I think that's very nice. Have a good time. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. So we'll order 30 milkshakes. We'll give them out to the people, and we'll take some for ourselves, okay? Good. Thank you very much, everybody.
Turns out Donald Trump's just a regular person, a rather charismatic, personable, and very respectful person. Just think about the contrast. What you see in real life, what you see with your own eyes, doesn't exactly mesh too well with what the official leftist mainstream media narrative is. I mean, according to the way they describe him, Donald Trump should have walked in there with a whip, right? Wearing a big white cloak and mask. But no, it turns out that he's just a regular person and not this evil, deplorable racist, and that's what they don't want you to know. They don't want people to ever see what you just saw, and they certainly don't want minority folk to ever see that, because it instantly dispels the brainwash magic that they've worked so hard to preserve. You know, if they aired this stuff, we'd be living in a very, very different world. Let's call this exposure therapy. A lot of people, especially minority folk, are very scared of Donald Trump. The question I ask is, what's so scary about this?
I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you.
We support you, man.
Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a
Well, what's scary about it, particularly to Democrats, is that these kinds of situations allow Donald Trump the ability to expose the truth that's very detrimental, let's say, to the DNC's electoral hopes.
Yeah, can my friend Dom get in one too? Listen, she's fundraising.
Come on in.
Yes,
We're going to get rid of Biden.
Yay!
Bye-bye, Sleepy He is the worst president in the history of the United States, and he's horrible to the black community, whether you like it or not.
Been that way
Treats the
since a
black
senator.
community bad. And check out his record in the 1990s. Check out his record in the 1990s.
You're economically what's for us. Yeah.
Well, opportunities.
Opportunity-wise, everything holistic.
Best job numbers ever.
The First Step Act. Let's talk about it.
And again, the colleges and universities. I need to get the whole thing down.
I got you.
Thank you. Can I get one?
Serving the red pill on a silver platter, or I guess in the case of Donald Trump, on a very big, beautiful golden platter. They don't want people to see that. Especially they don't want minority groups to know that that's the real man and that that's the message. They want people to live in a news-created and of course a social media algorithm-enforced narrative bubble where Donald Trump is scary. But the reality is that there's nothing scary about Donald Trump. And I never understood what was so scary about him. What is so scary about the Orange Man? What makes the Orange Man bad? Is it his belief in capitalist free markets, low taxation and low regulation? What's so scary about that? His belief in a non-interventionist foreign policy approach, and of course a more diplomatic approach to foreign conflict. In other words, Donald Trump isn't a fan of sending other nations' young men to slaughter on behalf of the globalist agenda.
Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying.
Or is it his belief in borders? Something that wasn't so controversial until the anti-Trump media circus came to town. Well, again, it comes right back to that initial point that there's nothing scary about it. There's nothing scary about the MAGA agenda, Agenda 47, as the leftoids are now dubbing it. Of course, as we know, give something a title and all of a sudden it becomes real scary. It's always a game of misdirection with the Democrats. Use scary words and scary labels to fearmonger people into supporting you. Well, of course, as we know, the effects of crying wolf over and over again have diminishing returns, and especially in the digital age, in the world of the internet, where the truth ends up bubbling to the surface inevitably, you can only cry wolf so many times until the people start waking up, especially when Elon Musk now owns Twitter, as it's now less of a DNC-controlled information outlet these days, and more of a free and open platform. The truth's bubbling to the surface and it's having a significant effect. Trump isn't as scary as they tell you he is, and people seem to be waking up to that according to the numbers. Why are black voters backing Donald Trump in record numbers? Latest polls show that 17% of black voters would vote for the former president today, more than twice the number in 2016. The people are waking up, media brainwash is dissipating, the spell is being dispelled. In other words, we are witnessing the left's worst nightmare, the continued humanization of Donald Trump. Who would have thought the apprentice billionaire, the man who literally gold-plated his entire New York penthouse, who would have thought that at the end he would be more relatable than half of these politicians and elitist media talking heads? Donald Trump is a man of the people. He continues to prove it. It's his biggest strength, and that's why they work so hard to hide it. They don't want you to see this. Because they know how powerful his presence is. And of course, on the opposite side, they know how weak their current candidate's presence is.
This is Morgan Sherwin. This is Morgan Sherwin and Sam Cerruti. They're our team members here. They help us. They help us, service and sales.
Good to see you.
The contrast is clear, and it's getting clearer and clearer every single day as the haze dissipates and people open their eyes for the very first time. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.